Hey everyone, today I'm currently sitting on top of a 10th century temple in Koh Ker in Cambodia, and I have to submit a video statement for a grant that I'm applying to for a PhD program, and the prompt is basically to teach your cohort something. And so I figured while I'm doing research in Cambodia, I could do it on top of a temple, and that might stand out among the crowd. We'll see what happens. But currently I am writing out my script while the rest of my team is out doing archaeology below me. Okay, so I just finished recording, and definitely, I hate this so much, but I did 4 separate times, and they gave us 9 attempts, and the whole time there's just like singing in the background and a chainsaw and like all this stuff, but like you could still hear me. It was just like kind of background noise with like the wind and everything. But like the first couple times it was so hard because I just like kept stumbling up, but then I finally just like closed my notebook and went with it, and I was able to at least get like a coherent stream of consciousness out. And so I just decided to submit it, because if I don't submit it now, I'm gonna use up all my tries, and like it's never gonna be perfect. As much as we want it to be, it's never gonna be perfect. So it's submitted. Yay, PhD application's done for this round. So I'm gonna go climb down the temple. Currently walking on one of the big levels of the pyramid. We got some team members up there doing GPR, and now Michael and I are taking some portrait photos. I submitted my thing, yay. Everything is going.
Because, you know, it's 60 gigabytes. It's
A lot.
You have this aiming right into the grass.
Yeah, I know. It's just a vlog.
Your head is cut off. Your
Hey.
Oh, it's recording, I see.
Yeah, it's just...
You're Les Stroud. He did Survivor Man, you know, where he was his own cinema crew, and he carried all of his bags, and so like he'd set the camera up and do a hike like way off somewhere, and then he would always have to go back and get his camera. Yeah.
I was thinking of going into the rocks like behind me a little bit.
All right.
Is this like bad lighting?
It's dark this side, but your camera seems to do pretty well with it. That's a good shot right there.
I am Dora the Explorer.
That's really nice. I like that a lot.
Do you want some?
Anyway, you're standing right here. This was pretty nice. Oh God.
Do I?
I'm not sure. Still don't know why it's doing that.
So we just took some photos, and I totally left my backpack on top of the temple. Good job, Alyssa. Has like my laptop and my terabyte hard drive and everything I own in it, so that would have been bad. But now so I'm still on top of the temple. We're now descending the temple. Got some nice portrait photos of me and Michael. Stairs. I think the plan for today is to go to a couple of the smaller temple sites and do some 3D modeling of those. We did 2 temples yesterday, and Michael said they're turning out pretty well. The geometry of the site looked really good, but he didn't render it yet. I think it's running right now at the hotel while we're out here, and then we're gonna go back and charge before lunch, and then have lunch. And yeah, so looks like they're doing some total station, and then I think Tiago's all the way up there doing GPR. I'll have to ask about that because I don't understand what they're doing, so I'll let you know if I find out about that later. There's Sarah sitting on. Hi. Yes, I finished. I like your little workstation.
This is my tech lab.
It looks amazing. It's beautiful.
Michael and I had an idea to apply for a grant to do like a documentary.
Yeah, you told me a little bit about it. Would that be like Nat Geo type stuff or like something completely different?
We were thinking maybe initially it'd be like, well, I don't know, but there are a bunch, like Sundance has a bunch of smaller grants. And that would kind of just be like an independent
That'd be so
documentary.
cool.
We could also pitch something to Nat Geo. I was thinking if you guys make like a sizzle reel from all of the footage that you're getting.
Be real, be real.
Be real, be real.
One of the things we were talking about is like, if Michael's here, like filming stuff and people are comfortable with just like having
Like this.
this happen right now. and the bigger thing is like we all trust each other.
Yeah.
So like I know you're not gonna like
Make
take
you
a
look
video
bad,
of
yeah.
me picking my nose and then make a whole
Post it.
documentary of me picking my nose.
Unless it's
A
an
new kind
awful
of
panorama.
archaeology.
Yeah, exactly.
Digging for gold.
Yeah, agreed.
And I do think it's interesting. I think people like would be interested. Like I posted that picture of the tarantula and Instagram's like, freak it out. But the tarantula. So there are a lot of factors to be considered, including lighting, battery power, number of days that we're here. So why don't you guys go take a look with Sam Nang, get a sense of like as many temples as possible, and we'll reconvene here around noon for lunch.
Okay, I think we have good news and bad news. Which one do you want?
Let's start with the bad news.
Okay, we were only able to scan up to the 3rd tier
Okay.
because everything else is just packed with fallen blocks.
Okay.
We don't have a surface to drag the machine.
It's not
The
that bad.
good news is that apparently, once we go to the 3rd tier, then the behavior of the energy changes quite a bit.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
Maybe they have a technique that goes all the way to the 2nd tier and then a different technique above.
Huh.
Maybe smaller blocks, maybe some sediment. Although I was discussing, Udon doesn't think it's possible to have sediment there. And the sediment that we have up there, there is some heaps of it. He said is weathered laterite. But I'm not so sure. I think they're a mixed kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Maybe they will have layers of sediment between the laterites or something like that. It looks really weird on the radar.
Huh.
The 3rd tier.
So that makes the bad news even worse.
What do you mean?
Well, now because I really want to survey the top
Yeah.
tiers, and we can't.
Hello, Mr. Bacalao. We're discussing. So, apparently, just do the lines. We found the total station just to see if it's something different.
Yeah.
Because if it's something different, then we can
Pictures of me taking pictures.
Yeah. Apparently there's a leaf that tastes citrusy that insisted Michael to eat earlier, so now we're going to try it. Oh, it's off the ground. Oh, whoa, that's crazy. Like, it doesn't smell like anything until you bite into it. Here. Mmm. Wow.
What is the name in Khmer?
Sluk Kanang. So what we're doing right now is we're walking around to different temple sites within the Koh Ker Archaeological complex and seeing which ones we want to do drone imagery of and try to make a 3D model of. And this is super dependent on like the surroundings. So like if there's a lot of trees, it's hard for the drone to do a clear flight path, which will result in like a lot of holes in the model. And so we can only really do like good models of temples that don't have a lot of trees around them. And so that's what we're doing right now. Wow. We are at our second temple candidate today. Both of the temples we just went to, including this one, are pretty big, and like this one especially has a lot of trees around it. Michael's saying something, but I can't hear him. What?
This one will take longer.
Yeah. Yeah. So he just said this one's gonna take a lot longer, which means we might start with this one. This thing's huge. It's pretty cool. The faces look like they've fallen inward, but yeah, stuff like this is super interesting and important to document though, because you never know how long it'll be standing, because like they're already halfway fallen. So these 3D models are going to be very useful in recording and documenting these processes for people to see in the future when they may not be here anymore. And so that's why we're out here doing that, is to document and record. Pretty neat.
What I would want to do is like spend a day on each just to be safe.
Yeah.
And that the other one is simpler, so like that would be max 6 days. But I think 2 days on the other one and 3 days on this, because this is
These
a lot
are the
more.
two main ones that they want. Then,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
Mirrors.
Oh,
I used to have
neat.
big ones here.
Uh-huh.
It's interesting because your arms are really high, right? So you have to look. All right. Sorry.
Next time we're all getting one, and we're just going to be a motorcycle gang of archaeologists.
Let's do it.
I know it's funny. You don't have to go. It was trampled by an elephant. Like they are good for you to I don't know, vitality, stuff that helps you sleep and stuff like that. And they found out that most of them were spiked with real medicine.
No way.
Yes.
What?
Yes, like Prozac,
Scandal.
even Viagra they found in some stuff.
Viagra.
No way.
I'm telling you, it's
don't
not
believe this
regulated.
That's true.
Little pockets of air, and he was able to breathe those pockets of air. So that was the first time it saved his life. And I'm gonna charge for that.
This is our podcast. What are like these shards, like this stuff? Like what is it?
Roof tile.
Roof tile.
For the most part, some of it is ceramic, but a lot of it is roof tile.
And there's just like everywhere.
Right. Yeah, basically to map where all the laterite is surfacing, and then we can use that in GPR to figure out where the laterite is subsurface, and then we can have a plan of the palace. And then hopefully we'll be able to say like, this area was a meeting hall, these are smaller rooms, this area might have been used for storage, built of wood, and non-perishable, or perishable materials. Only the temples are built of stone, which are non-perishable. So here at least we have the foundations. So if we can use the foundations and map them, we can get a sense of what the temple, what the palace looks like. And then we can do all sorts of cool like space syntax things with it.
Where's the extent that we know of? Like from here?
So there's a laterite enclosure, and that's about 20 meters that way. And then it kind of encloses in a square, like a 200 by 200.
And then this leads to the enclosure?
This is all part of the structure of the palace. Yeah. So we're standing in some kind of room of the palace right now.
Is this also 10th century?
Yeah. Well.
We don't know yet.
Okay. We think. So the idea is that this was probably built by J4.
Okay.
But another team excavated some more domestic context just over there, and they found things that dated to the 7th and 8th centuries.
So
it'd be
who knows?
interesting to know if this temple was built when Jayavarman IV became king, or sorry, this palace, or if it existed beforehand and there was some kind of regional elite or nobility or ruling class based here. Because that's one theory, that it came from a lineage that had ties here.
That's why I was asking about mapping.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what you use for mapping.
So we have done drone flights here, but above the trees.
Yeah,
So it's not
you
very
can't see
good.
anything.
Exactly. And we also have LiDAR, but it's also not.
It's not color.
It's not really good enough.
Uh-huh.
It's because the resolution is 50 centimeters, which is pretty good, but not if you're looking for a single laterite block.
Right.
So what we were thinking of doing was putting a camera on a pole and walking in and taking pictures that way.
Yep.
And syncing it with my phone. But if you think you could fly a drone in this little area, I mean, that would be better.
We can give it a go. There's no reason not to. I mean, I said 5 days, right? So we could take an extra day and see what it looks like out here. I think I mean, this space is easy enough. It's going to get tricky when we get around things like this, right? But also with a camera, like, I don't know which camera you're using, but when you said sync with your phone, do you mean view it from your phone? Because
and
you can.
use a remote to take the picture.
You can do it all with your phone if you have a wireless one. You don't need a remote.
Right, exactly. So I would just use my phone to take, because the thing would be up there.
Yeah,
so it's possible that we could do most of it with a drone and then just do the parts where we can't. Get the drone with the camera.
Yeah.
Does that work?
I think you can. I have to do some research to see. I haven't done mapping like that with a drone. It might need to be higher, just because, like, with the trees and everything, when you start, like, everything that's low to the ground is going to be fine, but you get that parallax as you move the camera, right? So, like, you'll have a tree that's this direction in one shot and this direction in the other. You see that in Google Maps.
Yeah.
Because the satellite's passing and the buildings go like this because of the angle here.
Yeah.